In this video I'm going to build a LEGO Imperial base within the next 50 days. My goal is to recreate Aldhani Heist from my favorite Star Wars TV series Andor. This creation will be quite a challenge, due to a large number of various designs bringing this location to life. Additionally, this transport is a must-have and it has a lot of difficult angles. I'm starting with creating a simple black frame for nicer aesthetic, on which I'm adding 4 ventilation systems that are integrated into the wall, as well as some gribbling for the front of the future platform. The transport is set on some kind of rail system and that's what I'm going to do, make a simple area with 2 tracks for the ship. Next, I'm adding some gribbling details like pipes, cables, vents and other type of machinery in between the tracks and the platform. Ironically, you won't really see this as the transport will cover this up, but I really like details. Let's use filler brick to cover up empty spaces and to level up everything to the same height. So I messed up with LEGO math somewhere and I have to elevate everything by 1 more plate. Which doesn't seem like a lot, but I had to rework the entire platform and it isn't really visible that I did something here. Great. After that very productive time, let's make something fun with instant result visible to an eye. So, tiling. I'm truly happy to see how well this creation is starting to come together. And now it's time for the most challenging part of this project, the Imperial cargo transport used by Andor and his friends to escape. I'll start with this front panel with windows and 3 ramps. To accurately recreate the panel, I'm using side building technique. After measuring the width of the ramps, I know they need to be 6 studs wide, so I created the simple yet effective design for them and they work perfectly here. Next, I'll recreate the lower and the angled upper part of the transport side. I came up with this rather simple design, but it allows me to easily achieve the angle I need for this section, that blends very well with the previously made ramps. So, a new design challenge has appeared, which is how to attach the upper panel at a required angle. The solution for this will be using some 1x2 brackets and T-slopes, but as I don't have them that many in dark grey color, I need to reverse the upper panel. I'm attaching reverse tiles and brackets to one joint component. Now that I have this piece ready, I just need to connect it. This design was quite tricky but manages to accurately recreate the side panel of the transport. Let's move on to the front cockpit, which I designed based on the width of previously made front window. I'm extending the cockpit with an additional section as it is in the source material. Next, using snot technique, I'm adding side panels with windows. This window here needs to be at a certain angle. To achieve that, I'm going to use hinge brick that will allow me to connect this window piece with a smooth transition without gaps. In the meantime, I prepared the roof section, that with the clip underneath will allow me to attach this front panel. It's a delicate connection, but it's essential for the accurate appearance of the transport. After that, I created this roof component for the rest of the ship that I'll connect to the previously made side panel by using clips on the bottom. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea where to go from this point, as we have only a few sections of the transport ready that need to be connected in some way. So, while watching Star Wars Celebration, I distracted myself with a new smaller build. Sometimes it's good to take a short break and build something different, to avoid forcing the creative process too hard and then return to the original project with a fresh mind. I added the Ferrix Worker and Cassian Andor minifigures to complete this little scene from the 2nd episode of the series. I'm really pleased how nice this little diorama turned out. Let's return to Aldhani Heist and the Imperial transport, for which I made this simple but very important foundation for the ship. I'll add previously made ramps to designated spots. To level up the height, we need to add support beams to the cockpit, which I'll then connect to the rest of the foundation section, and strengthen it with some tiles and plates. Have I mentioned that I love details, even those that won't be really seen? Like this cool and accurate control panel that will be covered by walls of the transport and then the entrance to the cockpit. This, on the other hand, is a component that will provide structural stability for the roof section. Let's tile off the floor of the transport. On the back, I'm preparing the base for the back wall that will have this simple but very cool looking texture achieved thanks to jumper plates. I'm completing back wall section so I can attach previously made main section with angled panels. This is finally starting to look like transport, which is a reassuring sight. It's time for a really challenging part of the transport, as the highlighted section has a few really difficult angles to pull off. After a while I designed each component, the bottom one, a simple middle segment with vents, and the upper part. So the way it's supposed to work is to connect these two angles seamlessly together. I measured the distances before to easily put together each section into their spots. Let's reattach the cockpit roof and let's recreate this final segment, a connection to the tracks. I built fronts by using snot technique, and the rest was made with slopes and headlight bricks. I'm really happy to present you completed transport. This design, while definitely not easy, was a fun challenge to complete. Let's add the Imperial transport to the rest of the diorama, which is really starting to take shape. In the meantime, I prepared some cargo designs, which I based on these crates. Let's add them to their spots. The next section we'll be working on is this back area, for which I'm preparing supportive walls with some studs on the side to later connect them with rock formations. It's time to build the vault. I'm using here a combination of bricks, snot pieces and inverted slopes, which I duplicate for the mirrored section. Then I'm filling up the side walls with some textured bricks for nicer design of the vault's interior. Next I'm adding a connection component to complete this section. Let's focus our attention on this back segment, on which I'll attach the long track beam that is connected to the transport. To do it, I'm using a few slopes and headlight bricks, repeated in a continuous pattern with some gaps left for a component, with bracket pieces for the side clamps. To finish off the track, I'll use plates and tiles on top. Let's attach it to the designated spot and strengthen it with some additional bricks, as well as other types of pieces. After that, I made an additional supportive structure. Near the vault is this tube, and I'm making a simple design that I will repeat throughout the entire tube according to the source material. Let's attach it to the designated spot. We did the main track, but the clamps on the sides still need to be made, so I'm creating a faithful recreation of them and I'm attaching all of them to previously prepared spots. Next, I recreated these small cargo carts that are used to transport rolls of credits. It's time for the part that took me hours to do, but with magic of editing it will be only seconds, to recreate these rock formations on the wall. I started with upper part to be sure that I have enough parts to nicely finish it off. Then I created a few sections of various rock formations, which I made by using some plates, tiles, wedge plates, corner tiles and slopes to imitate as naturally looking rocks as it's possible, while making very subtle height differences to be accurate to the location. After that, I attached each rock component into a prepared spot on the wall to achieve a seamless rock formation throughout the entire wall. I'm extremely happy with diversity and shaping of these rocks and how great they are complementing this scene. In the scene you can also spot these metal stairs, which I recreated by using a few neat connections and fun design choices, and they have a place right here. Next I spent some time off camera completing this scene and adding some final details. And let's put some last minifigures. This creation took nearly 50 days of on and off work to bring to life, and I can say with ease, it was worth it. I'm so happy with the finished diorama that captures so nicely Aldhani Heist from Star Wars Andor. Each smaller and bigger design we made comes together to help accurately depict the style and vibe of the Imperial base on Aldhani, and positioning of the minifigures allows for a dynamic and lively scene. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to check out the next one, visible on the screen. See you soon!